Hello, cruising fans, and welcome back to our last of the ARC updates for this year. It is Wednesday, the 18th of December, and we can see that most of the boats have made it to port, with the exception of 4 of the smaller cruisers. Looking at Melania Bonatti, she's still got about 3 days, and then Kia Ora, the Carhamel IV, and Lullaby all have about 2 days of sailing still left ahead of them. Quickly zoom into St. Lucia. We can see that the bulk of the boats in the ARC have made their way into the harbor at Rodney Bay. If we use the scroll bar, we can see that several boats are coming and going in and out of the harbor as they arrive, etc. But we should also keep in mind that some of these boats have been here for a week or more, particularly the bigger and faster boats. Case in point being Allegra, who nearly immediately diverted to Martinique and is now residing up in Antigua. Apparently she felt she had better things to do than to wait around for scoring. Speaking of scoring, how is the ARC scored anyway? Well, since the multi-hulls have all come in at this point, or at least have been considered in, we can take a look at what the results are. So here is the chart of the final standings for the multi-hull division overall, both A and B. We can see that they are ranked and position is determined in a mathematical format rather than simply the time. And this is done with a series of handicaps. And this allows a wide grouping of different types and sizes of boats to compete on a somewhat level playing field. So it penalizes the ultra expensive, ultra fast boats and benefits the really short and perhaps heavy boats with a handicap system. So there are 2 different time correction factors used. One is engine hours and the other is a handicap based on the boat's size and design. So boats that are not in the racing category are allowed to use their engine, but are penalized, as we can see, at an engine hour factor of 1.8. So every hour that you've run your engine, you increase your total time by 1.8 hours. The second factor is the TCF, and this is a time correction factor that's calculated based on the size of the boat, sail area, etc., based on a questionnaire that you hand in to the organizers at the time of registration. So that said, the corrected time is calculated by multiplying the finish time times the TCF, and then any engine hours times the engine hour correction factor. So we can see with boats like the Nigel Irons Allegra that has a big penalty of 1.559 TCF compared to the little Lagoon 380 that has a 0.925. So they actually get a negative time bonus. So if they've completed 1 hour of race time, they only get scored on 0.93 hours of race time. So we can see, as I had suspected, Muttley had quite a few engine hours, as well as Blue Ocean and Viewfinder, and we can see that their times got penalized pretty heavily, shuffling them to the bottom of the list. At the top of the list, we have Halucine, even though Allegra technically made landfall a fair amount sooner than Halucine. Allegra did not make it into the port for whatever reason to be scored. So, World Cruising Club publishes these results for most of their rallies, and as suggested earlier in this series, over the next few weeks I'm going to be doing a little number crunching and comparing how different boats perform, and I've got some suspicions on the practicalities of these performance cruising catamarans, not necessarily the ultra high performance boats like Allegra or Halucine, but the more comfortable, the Katanas, etc., and how they compare to what we have traditionally considered the bigger, heavier cruising cats. Is that extra speed worth the reduction in size and loss in comfort? I don't think it is, and we'll get some numbers to support that argument, I suspect. So we'll see you soon. Let us know in the comments if you have any questions or thoughts on scoring, and while I'm doing our calculations here, if you've got any suspicions that you'd like flushed out. We'd love to chat back and forth in the comments anyway. We like hearing from you. So please hit subscribe to stay up to date with what we're doing, and we'll see you in the next few weeks.